I saw Ryan Coogler's latest movie, Sinners, and I'm gonna be straight up with you, this is the best movie of the year so far, and it's not even close. Now take that with a grain of salt and maybe a pinch of garlic. It's only April, and cinema speak 2025 is a wee little baby, and Sinners merely represents its first steps. But my oh my, a year's first steps can really set the tone, and Sinners is a confident stride. That is, one cool baby. I think people are going to remember Sinners as one of the best and defining movies of the year. Not at the level of EOW, Everything Everywhere All at Once, but one could make the comparison. And that in of itself says something. But what is Sinners about?
Come. Here.
I don't really know what to give away here since the trailers were quite liberal with the reveals, so I'll keep it vague, and also maybe don't watch the trailers. Sinners is a horror movie that takes place in 1930 segregated Mississippi. African-American twins and former bootleggers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, use stolen gang money to start a juke bar, but vampires attack on their opening night. That's just how it is sometimes. Sinners features a wide ensemble cast who all put in good work. Michael B. Jordan, like Robert Pattinson 1 month prior, excels at his dual performance of both Smoke and Stack. Smoke is more level-headed, while Stack is carefree and full of bravado, but both are quick to the trigger and, while of course helped by the color coding going on with their suits, Jordan really portrays both characters clearly and convincingly. Now, I don't know if this needed to be a dual performance, and a part of me wonders if the emotional beats between the two brothers would have paid off more if it was an older and little brother dynamic with two different actors. Still, Jordan is a more than enough good actor to pull it off. However, while Jordan may be the action star, he is not the lead in my opinion. That goes to newcomer Miles Catton in his acting debut, playing aspiring blues musician Sammy Moore. We follow his perspective throughout. He is the one with the clearest arc, and the central conflict ultimately revolves around him. Jordan's is the flashiest role, or roles, but Miles Catton holds his own and deserves his flowers. Sure, the ensemble cast might be a bit too bloated. My only real complaint about Sinners is that the first half can feel a bit drawn out, and that is largely because it has to take time to establish all these characters who might not necessarily feel as relevant or interesting as some others. However, I think that flaw can be excused. It is a horror movie, which means we do have to include more characters than we technically need, so we have the option of losing people. At least Coogler, unlike many other horror directors, puts in time with the cast and makes us care for and understand them before hits the fan and things break skin.
Dream Crusher!
Don't be deterred by the somewhat slow start, because it is essential to an electrifying second half, which is where the movie really finds its unique and surreal voice. The vampires are also worth mentioning because they are so unique. Coogler really redefines the concept, just as Jordan Peele scrambled the idea of UFOs in Nope in something recognizable and also not. Vampires here are part bloodsucker, part zombie, and part Midsommar-esque cult. It's a super interesting take that leans into the aspects of vampirism that are often overlooked. One of the goofiest parts about vampires of old is that they cannot enter a home without being invited in.
Why are they just standing there?
Oh no, that's right! Vampires can't enter a house unless you invite them in!
That's very polite.
And while other stories would choose to ignore that aspect because it is a pretty severe and funny limitation, Sinners embraces that full-on to generate major tension.
That's very polite.
Our vampires here need to be as duplicitous as they are animalistic and rabid, and this results in a new air of paranoia and a few surprisingly funny scenes. A lot of tones are going on here, and also the vampires want to boogie. I have to bring up now that Sinners uses music very well. Now that is a bit of a cheat code for me. If anything uses music in an interesting and involved way, I probably really like it on default. But music itself feels like a character in Sinners, and like Michael B. Jordan, it takes on a dual role. Music is both good and evil. Music is a comforting friend in the passenger seat, sharing an intimate moment amongst friends. Music is a wild, sensuous encounter at a raucous party. Music is a seemingly innocent siren song luring lonely sailors to their doom. And, in the best scene in the movie, if you've seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about, music is gobsmacking, magical euphoria. Music is life, death, and everything in between. Music is everything, dude. I feel so f***ing high right now. And I think we are going to see another Ludwig Göransson Oscars push for this very memorable score. I mean, we have to, but I don't know, the Oscars sometimes don't know a good score if it showed up at their doorstep and drank their dog. Still, the score is front and center alongside some delightful covers, and even at least one original song. Hard to think Göransson went from Oppenheimer to this, as these are completely different styles, but equally impactful. I don't want to overhype Sinners. As I've alluded to earlier, it is not a perfect film, but I do want to hype it, because Sinners is artsy and fun, and I think anyone can enjoy it. Unless if you can't handle jump scares or horror, but even then, I don't know, maybe see it with a friend or with a stuffed animal. Try to make it work. I am not now, nor have I ever been above mainstream commercial films. Nay, I root for good art to come from anywhere. It is just that I admire ambition above all else in a movie. And when you have big budgets, there too come bigger risks and an incentive to nix ambition in favor of playing it safe. It's kinda hard to be mad about that too. It's logical, just disappointing. However, Sinners is a big bet, and I think it's going to pay off, and I hope I've done my part to help make that happen. If you like this video, please give it a little like and a comment and a ring-ding-bing of the little bell icon down at the bottom, please. Thank you very much.